This is the XPEL 375. It's an all-Chip Ganassi Racing front row. Scott Dixon in that orange and blue PNC car. Look at Will Power in the black and red Verizon car. Ready?
Green.
Big crash.
Spitting out the back. We're going to yellow.
Daly. Fittipaldi.
Daly's upside down, I believe.
That was a real slow start. Guys started spinning their tires up. Daly's right side up now, but this is devastating for these guys here at the back.
Bourdais in it, 2 crashes in 2 days. Connor Daly, he's had a wild ride here before many years ago, and he's just taken another one.
I saw Connor upside down, and as he was sliding, I thought to myself, oh yeah, the aero screen. Thank goodness for the aero screen. Connor moving in the cockpit, steering wheel comes off.
You can see it dug into the grass right there, and it flipped itself back over. But man, these guys that had the aero screen on here, that's a lifesaver, because Connor was upside down right up against the wall for a little bit.
Not only that, but you can see the big mound of turf that collected in the roll hoop. And prior to having the aero screen, I think for sure you would have seen the driver's helmet with some of that turf contacting the top of his helmet. So great to see Connor Daly climb out. Look at the amount of turf that just packed itself into the left front wheel there as well.
As Pietro Fittipaldi, his return to IndyCar Series Racing. This is Ed Jones. Ed had a good run last night, but it has come to a sudden end here today.
Well, that was all on Rossi. Oh, I just noticed Rossi in there. This is devastating for his championship. But I mean, these are the things that happens, Townsend, when you're mired towards the back of the pack. This is where the accidents happen, and that really all stemmed. It was a slow lead up and a kind of a late start, and everybody just in the back was ready to rock and roll, probably down in first gear, spun the tires up, and somebody turned sideways. Fittipaldi got into the back of Bourdais and turned him, and then it was just a melee from there on. So
Dalton Kellett, look at Tony Kanaan to the left of your screen, trying to tiptoe through all of that debris. Watch the purple and black. Purple car is Pietro Fittipaldi. He went into the Rocket Chevrolet of Sebastian Bourdais. There's Connor Daly.
And that happens, guys, it happens so fast, and you're hard on the power, and these cars don't stop well with these brakes and this aero configuration. You get on the brakes, but Connor came in there. He's obviously on the brakes, but you just can't even get it slowed down enough to even do anything.
Yeah, Connor had a head of steam.
This restart is presented by XPEL, and it's Scott Dixon leading the field to green and trying to protect his lead. All right, there's the jump. Dixon's gone.
Green.
And here comes Will Power. Look at that third car in line, the black and red Verizon car. And here comes Jack Harvey in that pink number 60. Look at Harvey go!
He's ready to rock and roll after last night. He says, I'm here and I'm for real, Townsend. And look at Simon Pagenaud up on the high side. This track, though, it's going to be hot and slick today. And look at Jack on the outside.
Ready to race, and Pato Award in that orange and black Arrow McLaren SP Chevy. He's duking it out with Will Power, but Harvey was spectacular on that restart.
And once again, Dixon just showing his young teammate Alex Palou how a restart works. Palou kind of asleep at the wheel again on the start. I think it's going to take a little while for Palou to get comfortable at the jump, but the action further back with Power and Award there, that black and orange car of Pato Award we ride on board right now.
Pato's ready to step up to the next level, not only as an oval driver, but also get in the winner's circle, guys. He's really having a good season so far this year, but I got to tell you, the conditions today are much hotter. There's sun on the track. The tire wear last night in cooler conditions, Marty, was really bad, so I think it might be worse today.
We got some Pato Award radio. Let's listen.
You're doing a very good job. Everybody's settled into a number, just like you. What you're doing is very good for us right now. Just keep riding.
That number is a fuel number, so the team reminding Pato Award, hey, everybody's on the same deal, but this young Mexican driver, Paul, he doesn't like to sit in fourth.
No, he's ready to go, and he's got a nice outside move, tries it, but he has to back off. Will Power is really driving defensive right now. He's protecting the inside, but now he's got a little run down on the bottom. But Jack Harvey was challenging the Ganassis early, now tire wear becoming a factor, and he's backed up to these guys. So this is a nice little tight race right here.
Power with some very subtle little fades, Paul. There's a name for that.
And Marty, look who's in the background, Joseph Newgarden. He passed more cars than anybody yesterday. let's not discount the two-time champ.
Yeah, he's having a nice little run here, Lee, saying the car's gotten a little bit too free towards the end of the run. But speaking of Pato Award, he said a moment ago to his strategist, Taylor Kyle, he said, I have more pace than the 12 car. I just can't get by him. He saw him try that a moment ago. And that number you were talking about, Townsend, everyone trying to save fuel to make it to that first stop, which should be coming up in about 10 laps or so. So about lap 65-ish into 70, that's when you'll see that first stop of the day. Again, turning this race into a 3-stop race now.
Scott Dixon and Alex Palou have taken off. They are in their own zip code. Now 4.3 seconds ahead of Jack Harvey. So that's the margin first to third to this grouping of cars. Behind Joseph Newgarden in that XPEL Chevrolet is his teammates, Simon Pagenaud and Scott McLaughlin. McLaughlin lost a spot to Simon in the early laps. There he is there in the PPG Chevy, just ahead of Graham Rahal. I was just talking earlier to 4-time Bathurst 1000 winner and fellow New Zealander Greg Murphy, and Murph was beside himself with joy for this young New Zealander. He said, all of my racing mates, both in Australia and New Zealand, everyone was just electrified by the performance from this guy because he's come from such a different racing environment. It has been a massive leap to come over here and drive something so different, and his first oval race.
Well, I think that's just it, Diff, is that it's his first oval, and that's the big unknown, I think, for any driver internationally coming to IndyCar for the first time with zero oval experience. It's the anxiety of knowing, hey, I don't have the knowledge. It's going to take me some time. Couple that, Paul, with the fact that he comes over to race for Team Penske, the most successful team ever, as Pato Award and Will Power, all kinds of wiggling.
On the apron, wiggling. He was straddling the white line, just got just a little bit below it, nearly lost the back of the car. That was mega brave.
And such little room to navigate below that darker PJ1 section. It's just barely enough for 2 cars wide to stay on the light gray part where the grip is.
Focus and patience. All good here.
We got to get an in-car of that, because that was hanging on right there.
He didn't give me room.
He didn't give me room, Pato says. We know that he's got ninja hands, Paul. Those hands would have been moving fast then.
Absolutely. This kid's got so much car control. You know, the one thing with him, Townsend, is he's hard on the tires, but right now he's driving the wheels off this thing, and check this out. Nice run.
Pressure here. Pressure.
Fades him up.
Back.
Gets the inside line, and he's there, Townsend.
Oh!
Low.
He's there, but just, and you can see O'Ward. Probably some of the fastest hands in the sport. Look at that fade.
That was super sketchy. Right on the apron. And you don't know, guys that are watching this at home, that banking is so steep and it flattens out so fast. If you even touch that, the car will just snap sideways immediately. And when we get you the in-car view of this, watch his hands.
Well, Pato Award was on the white line with his left sides, and like you said, Paul, another inch, and it goes from 24 degrees to, frankly, 0, and it can weight jack the car and send you backwards instantly.
Oh, he's got another good run, but here's
a little bit of pressure here.
Let's have a look at that onboard.
Pressure, looking.
We got a new nickname for Pato. He is the Ninja. We saw it from the outside view of those hands. Here it is from the inside. The Mission Food onboard. Look and listen.
Oh.
I wish
His hands working furiously.
I wish the camera hadn't moved, but he is absolutely attacking Will Power, and that's given a little bit of a break for Jack Harvey. Jack Harvey is kind of checked out from these guys now.
Something's gone for Jack Harvey. Harvey, whoa, that's a lucky one right in front of Will Power there. Problems.
Right rear.
Problems for the British driver.
Or maybe it's motor.
He just said on the radio, we're blowing up.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Right in the middle of my song, too.
Just be careful through here. Be careful through here. You've got some oil, so just be careful here.
Great guidance, great coaching, and during the break, James Hinchcliffe has retired from the race as well, so the attrition rate is horrendous here today at Texas Motor Speedway. This will now make 8 cars out of the race. What a shame for Jack Harvey. So as he comes to a stop, let's have a listen to Joseph Newgarden, and the caution is out.
wheel one feel okay when you were running before we pitted?
Yeah, it seemed okay then, but I couldn't really tell. It was just out of the pits, it felt like crap. It seemed like once I switched right back to 3, it was better.
We'll go with that. Don't know if the wind's messing with us or not.
So some back and forth between President of Team Penske, Tim Cindric, who also calls the strategy for Joseph Newgarden, and this is Jack Harvey.
Almost looks like it's coming out of the wheel well.
Yeah, it's a wheel bearing. The wheel bearing is smoke.
And where did we see that, Marty? Yesterday with Colton Herta, same issue.
Same issue with him yesterday, and they basically overheated the brakes, which then kind of caused a bearing fire inside the rear end, and this looks to be a similar fire for Jack Harvey. And you guys mentioned this is a team who really felt like if we can get to Indy, top 7 in the championship standings, that's where we want to be. They were 4th in the standings earlier today, but now they're going to be out of it early. We'll find out exactly what happened.
Marty's standing by. Let's see who's going to be the quickest in and out. That last stop for Newgarden was spectacular. He's up against the Ganassi boys. Here we go, Marty.
Here come all the leaders to pit road, Lee, and this is going to be tight. 129 to go to make it on one more stop, but they'll all try from here. Scott Dixon and Alex Palou obviously very happy with their cars. Joseph Newgarden had an interesting comment at one point, said, I feel like I'm low on power. The team said they were going to check into it. We'll see who wins the race on pit road, and it was tight. How about Will Power gaining a few spots here on pit road?
How about Graham Rahal as well? Power and Rahal had tremendous stops. Here he is, the Fleet Cost and Care Honda. He's ahead of Joseph Newgarden, and Power is just ahead of him. Great stops. They both gained 3 positions each. Here's a former F1 driver, Marcus Erickson, in the Husky Chocolate Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing. He's been penalized for improper lane usage after that most recent stop, and he had to give the position back to the 20 of Ed Carpenter in the US Air Force Chevrolet.
Get some heat in him here.
And Erickson has done that, so he sits 12th, Carpenter 11th. Everything has been cleaned up, and we are ready to go racing. There are 16 active cars on the track here at Texas Motor Speedway with 122 laps to go on a beautiful 82-degree afternoon here in the Lone Star State, where the guy out in front has won 5 times. He's going to try and make it 6, and he gets a great restart. Who looks good? Jumping out of line is Pato O'Ward. There's Rosenquist in the blue and orange car.
Look at O'Ward. Look at O'Ward on the high side in the PJ1.
Super wiggly through the middle, but he hangs onto it. And now he's got to run down the back straightaway on Will Power.
And his teammate Rosenquist goes on the inside of Palou. The Arrow McLaren SP Chevys are on the move.
Man, these guys are strong today. They've had a strong weekend. And now look at Will Power under attack.
There comes
He's
O'Ward
again.
I think that last ride through there might have been a little too sketchy. O'Ward opting to duck in behind Power. That was unreal, the bravery from O'Ward to send it to the high side. Look at it, 3 wide down the back straightaway.
That is Herta on McLaughlin. Erickson's in behind as well. So that yellow, black and blue Honda, the Gainbridge machine, there is Colton. And McLaughlin is getting swamped.
Marcus Erickson back on the move, trying to march forward. Nice move around Scott McLaughlin.
Look at O'Ward. He is shadowing Will Power. O'Ward wants this to be the day that he becomes an IndyCar race winner.
Great run coming off of 4. Watch this. What does he do this time? Does he go for it?
He's going to send it.
Oh, he's got to be careful.
That was clean.
Straight to second goes the young Mexican driver. Now he begins his quest to go and catch the 5-time winner here.
Diffie, I said at the start of this race that somebody's got to step up and challenge Dixon. It's going to take something bold, and so far, Marty, Pato O'Ward showing he has the boldest tonight as Graham Rahal all over Power. He's going to try to follow suit.
Oh, he's got it too.
Wheel,
they almost touched.
Clear by 5.
I think Will Power was fed up with the high side move and decided to fire it in and hold the position.
I can tell you guys, Pato O'Ward was not going to give Will Power any quarter. He was done after that first 3 times he tried to pass him. That's why he was going to try that high line to go around Power. Now the question is, can he catch Scott Dixon, who nobody's been able to catch all weekend long?
Scott Dixon has now led 123 laps in this race. In his career here at Texas Motor Speedway, Dixon has just surpassed 1,000 laps led. You know he's good here with stats like that. Look at Ray Hall in the Fleet Costin Care Honda, the white and blue machine. Here he comes again for another go at Will Power.
Big head of steam, and he's clear. Chops the nose off Will Power, well clear. Perfectly timed pass.
We're going to walk you through some replays, and at least one of them will involve Pato O'Ward, the orange and black Arrow McLaren SP machine at the restart.
Big power move on the outside and wiggling, nearly loses it on that PJ1 on the cold tires. But he was making every opportunity on the brand new tires.
Oh, look at McLaughlin learning the fade on Colton Herta. The black and yellow car forcing his way through on the apron.
Very similar to last year with Dixon. When Colton Herta came down the inside, exactly like this with Dixon. They got in wheel to wheel, and he lost it, but that was a clean pass.
Hey guys, talking about clean passes, the little box down the bottom, there's so much to watch here, but Graham Rahal is in both screens at the moment. Rahal has just blown by Pato O'Ward for second. Now he begins his chase on Scott Dixon. Rahal is the 2016 winner here at Texas Motor Speedway, and this might be the first legit chance to see somebody challenge Scott Dixon.
Well, he was a half a second quicker on that lap than Scott Dixon, so Rahal right now rocking and rolling, Townsend.
3 to the next car, 5 gap to the next one, pack of 5 behind him.
Look at that speed difference. Last lap 212, leader speed 208. So Graham Rahal flying right now.
Long way to go. I wonder how much fuel Scott Dixon wants to burn as Graham Rahal breezes out of it right there. He had a chance to make a run, wasn't probably close enough.
Got to time this right from here. Now he's got to get a run down the back. Pulled it wide open through 3 and 4.
Can I lead if I can or no?
What did Rahal just say?
He said, can I lead if I can or no? Graham Rahal wants to know, should I get?
You can.
He was wide open through 3 and 4, so he's got to set this up. Get off the radio and set this up right now. So let's watch the throttle and listen to this through 3 and 4. Watch the green lights at the bottom. That's the throttle.
Come in with you, 3 back.
Here he comes. Look at that.
You can mix 2.
So he backs off. So he's trying to save a little bit of fuel here. But
Paul, I don't
he's
think
got a car to take the lead.
I don't think Graham Rahal's trusting his team right now on fuel, because Graham is sitting here going, there's no way Scott Dixon is going this slow for a reason. Don't count out the 6-time champ. Don't second guess the strategy of that number 9 car. They're the winningest team in IndyCar racing.
Take him now.
And now he just can't hold himself back. He's going.
He got her done easy.
Clear,
and that's the first guy that's led since Alex Palou at the beginning of last night.
Hey, Marty, the last pit stops were on 119. That was earlier than we expected because of the yellow. All the teams took advantage. Do you think Dixon's just trying to play it cool here and save the fuel to make sure he can go on one more stop?
That's the game. Who wants to lead, Townsend? That's why Graham Rahal said, can I lead? And they told him, yes, if you want to lead, go take the lead. That's why Pato O'Ward gave up second a moment ago to Graham Rahal. They told him, we need you to save fuel. Pato came back and said, I cannot race these guys and save fuel at the same time. They said, I know, dude, but if you don't hit our fuel number, we won't make it to the end. So that's the game right now. How much fuel can you save and still make lap time?
So I got to wonder, what is Graham's team seeing that they don't have on the 9 or the 5 car right now? It would be fascinating to see how this plays out. Hey, Marty, lap 151. I've got the go-home lap at around 186. Does that sound right?
Yeah, you would want to be with about 65 to go, 60 to go. 60 to go would be better. And Townsend, it's one thing to calculate it off of the fuel. It's another thing to calculate it off of the tires. Remember, these teams have not been able to make tires last that long. So that's the biggest key. Can you make your tires last as long as your fuel is?
Well, Dixon's been the guy to make the tires last, but Paul, last night he did it in the lead. It's a lot easier to make tires last with 3 areas. Dixon goes to the front.
Dixon comes back, makes a nice clean pass back for the lead. So a little bit of racing going on. These guys are all packed up. They're all trying to make a number here. So look at the field. It's all just kind of packed up, and the further back you sit here, the better fuel mileage you get.
From 1st to 15th is 5 seconds.
Tell you who I'd like to look up a little further back is Felix Rosenquist, as we show you on the left-hand side of your screen, drivers who have won at the same track back-to-back, what they have done, and they just happen to be in the mix here. Here's Rosenquist, the Swedish driver. He almost won this race last year, crashed out with 10 laps to go while hunting his then teammate Scott Dixon down. The Mission Foods onboard show you how well he's doing, and Rosenquist has just chipped away at it. He runs in 6th place right now. There's his teammate, third car in shot, the Arrow McLaren SP Chevrolet. It's a couple of Hondas, 1 and 2. For those of you new to IndyCar viewing, there's just 2 engine manufacturers in the sport, Honda and Chevrolet. It's a fierce annual battle. Honda is the reigning manufacturer's champion, and Honda has won all 3 races thus far this year.
Ed Carpenter is on the right strategy. He'll see if he can go 63 laps here to the end. The oval specialist, a little bit of a slow stop there, but he's on.
Slipped it in gear, Paul, spun the rear tires on the jacks, and look at Rahal closes huge gap on the brakes to Scott Dixon.
Look at that gap close you guys mentioned, and these 2 pit stalls are right behind each other. They'll be able to watch their pit stops from where they're doing it. So Scott Dixon in front of Graham Rahal. They're running 1st and 2nd. Dixon now can go as hard as he wants. The fuel in. Rahal pulls out quick. Almost hits a Dixon crew member as he leads. Rahal getting every inch he can here on pit road.
Great stop from the Rahal Letterman guys, despite Graham kind of sliding in sideways. The front's locked up, and he was askew in his box, and here comes Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, this is the race right here, Marty, right here, this car.
Coming in from 3rd, Pato O'Ward, who feels like he has a car that could possibly win the race. We'll see what happens here. The fresh Firestone's going on. A quick stop by the Arrow McLaren SP guys. Let's see where he cycles out with Dixon and Rahal.
60 miles an hour to the line, now 90 miles an hour on the pit speed limiter. It'll feel awfully slow for Pato O'Ward as these 2 cars battle for the lead. Graham Rahal to the high side.
This is the fight for the lead right here, but Pato O'Ward is right at the pit exit. He's all the way out on the back straightaway now. Is he up to speed? Here he is. Look, he's got it up front.
Got it. He goes to the lead. Rahal and Dixon are at speed. How quickly will Graham Rahal catch the youngster?
Real fast, Lee. That's how fast Graham Rahal catch Pato. Graham Rahal's got a boatload of speed packed into that number 15.
So the overcut worked to perfection. A fast in-lap on the warm-up lane, a fast pit stop and getting out. Jumped Pato O'Ward from 3rd to 1st, but now the race is on for the last 60 laps.
Let's keep an eye on Joseph Newgarden as well, and how it works for him. There's Pagenaud in the background, and we've got a caution. We've got a caution.
Oh, this changes everything now.
Yellow.
What's it for?
No more worrying about fuel now.
Oh no, it's Rosenquist.
Loose wheel, back wheel is gone.
No wheel.
Here, just kind of trying to hang on to it. No
Everybody
run, no
hustling those pit stops. And
question is, where's that rear? There it is over in turn 3. Luckily, out of harm's way now, because that can be a disaster.
Stacked
Get ready.
up, packed up,
Get ready.
to go racing. It's Sato at the front, Tony Kanan's in the mix, but you're looking at the yellow and white car for Joseph Newgarden. That really is the effective leader.
Nice move by Newgarden to get by that car. Now he can just concentrate on Sato. There's no real fuel issues anymore, Townsend.
Oh, Dixon pops out. Pagenaud pops out to block Colton Herta. Herta's coming through and forces Will Power way up high where there's no grip.
Will Power loses a bunch of spots. He's still up there in the grade trying to keep it out of the wall, and he brushes the wall. Now you can see how little grip that PJ1 has. Once he was up there, he couldn't even get the car down.
Oh.
Okay.
Ron Rzuski says you're okay. I think he's just feeling how the car feels.
Yeah, a lot of vibration. I think we have damage.
I think Power's going to be heading to the
Just be pickup on the tires, Will. We'll feel it out for a lap.
Feel it out for a lap as Joseph Newgarden zeroes in on Takuma Sato, who will need to dive for the pits. There's Rosenquist circulating slowly. His problems continue. What a shame, because he was having a good run in the top 10.
Make a fuel number if you're just hanging out here. If you get a run at him, take it. If not, we'll have more fuel for later.
Cindric says if you get a run at him, take it. But otherwise, just sit here and save some fuel.
You don't want to sit and get slowed down too much with that young Tiger right behind you. Pato O'Ward could make a move on you.
Well, not only that, Newgarden knows that just a couple cars behind, Rahal and Dixon linger. They lurk, waiting for an opportunity. Those are the 2 strongest cars tonight.
season opener at Barber Motorsports Park saw Joseph Newgarden have a very rare and odd incident as he rounds up to Kumasato. That's tight, but that is a slick move.
He gave him nothing but a paper to slip in between those two cars. Yeah, he's looking high, low for any kind of action. He's got a nice run here coming off of 4. I think he's going to take it, Townsend.
So much for patience.
Here we go. Here we go. No. Newgarden hangs tough.
Clear about 2.
If that's patient, what is go for it at the end going to look like?
Ninja. That's what it looks like. Here we go. Inside. He tried the outside. Down into 3. Pato O'Ward is the race leader.
And that's it. He's now out front for the first time today. And like I said, I believe he's got one of the strongest cars there is.
Could this be the moment that he has been waiting for, in his mind, far too long? 23 laps left to run here in Texas around this 1.5 mile oval. And Pato O'Ward could be a first-time IndyCar race winner. His teammate suffered some misfortune with a right rear coming off, bouncing around, and Rosenquist had to return to the pits. That was the cause of our 3rd and most recent caution period. Meanwhile, this Arrow McLaren SP Chevy is singing out front.
Want to take a closer look at what the
Gray 1.
comparative handling might look like, Paul, as we watch the hands here. Pato O'Ward on top, Joseph Newgarden on the bottom.
Grade 3 on the back. Grade 3 on the back.
A little more movement out of Pato O'Ward steering. It looks like Joseph Newgarden hands are a little quieter.
Guys, remember, let's go back to the early phases of the race at what this young man did. Remember when he was trying to get past Will Power? Remember when he went down onto the apron? And the hands were just going like lightning. It could have all ended right then and there, but it didn't. He's resilient, he's tough, he's a boxer, he's a fighter, and he's showing us that right here today.
And whether it's on a road course like Barber Motorsports Park to start the season or on a high-speed oval like here at Texas, Paul, this young driver just seems so comfortable to ride the ragged edge. He's just happy when it's perfectly balanced, if not slightly loose. It doesn't bother him one bit.
Yeah, when he crashed at Indy, remember, he was pretty cavalier about it, like it was no big deal, but he drives the wheels off the car, and today, again, he drove the wheels off the car. It was nearly disaster in turn 3 and 4, with nearly losing the car, but he's bringing it home in the winner's circle. Take us away, Lee.
Oh, this is phenomenal. It has been a long time since a Mexican driver drove to victory lane in IndyCar Series competition. Off the top of my head, I want to say it was Adrian Fernandez a long time ago. But Pato O'Ward, Mr. Energy, Mr. Fast Hands.
Go, baby.
Oh boy, O'Ward! Pato O'Ward is an IndyCar winner!
Nice job at the hometown race, baby. Nice work.
And the hometown race, we forgot to mention.
Whoa! Finally. Isn't that tremendous?
You can see him soaking it in the car in what he considers his hometown race. Spent so much time in San Antonio. He wins at the Texas Motor Speedway. You gotta love it. The young 21-year-old taking the moment in. Wow, Pato, I gotta know the emotions as you cross the start-finish line for your first IndyCar checkered flag.
Oh, finally, man. Oh, that was a long race, but man, we had so much place in this Arrow McLaren SP number 5. I gotta thank Arrow Electronics, Views, Team Chevy, Mission Foods, man, everybody in this team has been doing such a good job. And we bounced back from last weekend. We got a podium yesterday, we had pace, and we got the job done today, man. I couldn't be happier for another group of guys.
We have seen your outstanding speed since you were a young man at road and street courses, but did you think the first IndyCar win would come in an oval, Pato?
Honestly, no. But hey, I take it. It's Texas, it's very close to my heart. I've lived here for many years. Yeah. And many Mexicans were out there in the grandstand, so thank you guys so much. And so happy, man, finally.
you said before the season, I'm gonna cause headaches for the guys who win all the time. Is this what you meant, Pato?
This is exactly what I meant, yes.
All right, and an early birthday present too, but happy birthday.
Oh yes, my birthday is in like 4 days or something.
Watch the GMR Grand Prix. Saturday, May 15th at 2:30 p.m. on NBC.